And the important thing is this: change does happen. It doesn't happen for the reasons we think it happens. We like to think that change happens for ethical reasons. That if we just go out there and communicate well enough, and our facts are good enough, and we have good enough pictures and videos and yada yada, that if we just do a good enough job at what we do, then people will eventually get it. And that's not going to happen. Change doesn't happen for ethical reasons. This was actually brought up before. Let's look at slavery. And I know it's kind of an intricate issue, but slavery as it's defined by like the average person on the street, not the more deep understanding that we have of it. Slavery didn't end for ethical reasons. There was never a day where everybody in the country woke up and went, slavery, that's horrible. We got to bring an end to that. That never happened. We all know slavery ended for, economic reasons, political reasons, had nothing to do with the ethical. And of course, there were the people who were, ethically opposed to it, willing to stand up for it, and that was that, 1% or whatever it is with the activist mindset. That was our, sort of forebears. But the majority of the population, as long as it's in their financial best interest, provides convenience for them, and is it within the social expectation, aren't going to stand up and make a decision based on ethical reasons. But the important thing is slavery did end. Again, as it's commonly defined by the average person in this country. Slavery did end. And if you go up to the average person on the street today, if we were to go out on the street and just go up to average people and say, slavery, what's your opinion? I think you'd have to ask a lot of people before you got a positive response. Okay? We have accepted it as our ethical viewpoint over time, and it took generations, but eventually it became our ethics. Once we had that separation that allowed us to, to be righteous about it, once we weren't financially dependent on it, once it wasn't convenient for us, and once it wasn't the social expectation, then society was free to moralize it and accept it as a morality. That okay, this is wrong. We don't need it anymore, so it's easy to say that it's wrong. So change does happen, but we have to be a little bit more realistic about how it happens. So the ethical viewpoint is not how people are going to change their minds. The second is the logical. Okay, like I said, activists have a logical viewpoint. If you make a logical argument, we're willing to listen, and we like to apply that to the average person. As long as we make a good enough logical argument that they'll be willing to listen. But we're not speaking their language. That's not how they make their decisions. It doesn't matter if 40 animals have to die for every fur coat, or 400 or 4 million. That's not their decision-making process. I think a really good example is, let's compare veganism and cigarette smoking. Okay, let's look at it as two products that we're selling. Veganism, it makes you healthier. It doesn't cost a thing. If someone were to go vegan today, they don't have to pay any kind of fee. It's totally free. So it's free, it's healthy, and it makes you live longer. Should be a really easy product to move. Should be flying off the shelves. But it's not. We're making headway, but